The weekend was full of surprises. I'm super proud of the way the team came out when we competed against Rhode Island at home. We swept them in 3. We dominated them in the first set. The team was ready to play, especially on a very special senior night for our athletes. And then the next surprise is when we decided to go to Rhode Island. You know, Megan getting hurt on literally the very first point. That completely changed the dynamic of the team. But I'm very proud of them once again because we managed to figure out a way to get into A-10s by taking a set off of Rhode Island there, despite the injury. Overall, it's awesome that we're in A-10s. I know the record doesn't necessarily reflect our success this year, but when we set goals, we don't necessarily set goals on wins and losses. We set a goal on making A-10s and making a run for the championship.
I think on Friday, going into the first match of the weekend, we needed a win. So I think that we went in with a really good mindset and a good head on our shoulders of what we really needed to accomplish over the weekend. And I think going into Sunday, knowing that we only needed to win 1 set, I think that set us on a different standard than we did on Friday, which is why I don't think that we had the expectations that we were hoping for. But I do think that just going into the weekend in general, we knew the job that needed to be done in order to make to A-10s, and we did what was necessary, which is super critical for the team and for the program. But yeah, I'm really excited for A-10s and for what this team can accomplish. I think we have a really good head on our shoulders going into A-10s.
The senior class is a very special class. They are the last bridge between myself as an assistant coach and as a head coach. And so that class means a lot to me about where I started with this program and how they've adapted to different head coaches and different leadership throughout their tenure. And that's not easy to do as a student athlete. So I applaud them for their adaptability, their willingness to work hard, and to continue to ascend Fordham Volleyball into higher ranks.
Senior night was super emotional. I think not just only for me, but for other seniors in general. I think just having to play through a pandemic and just facing a lot of adversity, whether that was through injury or through academics, I think a lot of us went through a lot of different changes that we really weren't expecting, especially just coming to New York City in general. Yeah, it was super fun, and I'm happy that I got to end it with my class.
The team has showed tremendous growth from when we were in California, and we went 0 at the Fullerton tournament to all of a sudden qualifying for the A-10s for the 2nd time in a row. Something that hasn't happened since 2007 and 2008. Once we were able to establish a set lineup, our athletes understood their roles on their team, and everyone on the team started to thrive in their roles. And they contributed not only as individuals, but as a holistic team. And that was absolutely critical to our ability to be successful down the road in conference play.
When I look back at the program, I think a lot about when Coach Ian says it's important to leave the program better than what you came to, or it's better to leave the program than when you got here. And I think we did that as a program. I think that it doesn't necessarily merit on our wins and losses, but more so on how we've learned as a team. I think that goes with taking a set off of Dayton or taking SLU to 5. I think that our team has faced a lot of adversity, and from that, I think that we've learned from it each and every time.
When I took over this program, I mean, Fordham was consistently not in the running to make A-10 championships. When I took this job, that goal was clearly stated, and it's now becoming a norm to make A-10 championships. But we have to continue to fall in love with the process. Because we want to continue to get better. Once we make A-10s and we make it consistently, that's no longer the goal. What's the goal? It's to start contending for a championship for the A-10. After that, what's the goal? It's to start contending in the NCAAs. So, again, every class that has come through since my tenure as a head coach, I'm very proud of. They all have contributed to the success of this program. And I'm really excited to see what we can do at A-10s.
I think the feeling among us is kind of spread out. I think for some of us seniors, I think we're super thrilled, and knowing that it's going to be our last few games, I think that that's a little bit of a hesitant approach to it, whereas freshmen, this is their first fall season, as well as some of the sophomores, like this is their first fall. So this is their first time really going to A-10s and even really having a normal season. So I think that they're super ecstatic about it, and I think juniors as well, just having to go back to back between seasons, I think everybody's just super fortunate to be able to go to A-10s and just to really embrace ourselves as a program.